maybe possibly going in there to get what I would assume is a black suspect that killed somebody else. But I'll be wrong if I was the one to say that because I'm assuming. Or am I just being real? So I'm really, really interested to seeing how this will develop, how it will come to play. But another thing that I want to touch up on this leadership is we had Nakima Lever Armstrong, an activist in that area. She interrupted an entire police press conference. They didn't even let the police department conclude on their investigation. They didn't even let them try to come up with the facts and figure out what really happened, hold anybody accountable if it's need be. They automatically jump to, oh, this is whitewash, oh, this is white supremacy. And this is what my problem is. What makes you conclude to that? Did you completely overlook the fact that they were maybe possibly going in there to get what I would assume is a black suspect that killed somebody else? But I'll be wrong if I was the one to say that because I'm assuming. Or am I just being real? So check this out, man.
We all know these events happen very rapidly, and as there's a gun emerging in your direction, you're forced to make a split-second decision about when it's a threat.
No, hold on.
Here we go.
No, not. Okay, I'm not a threat. I don't have a gun.
OMG.
Okay, don't treat me like I'm a threat.
Oh my God.
This is what I would call the anatomy of a cover-up. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry, it is. When I agreed to work with you on the work group, we talked about the importance of transparency and accountability.
The police department has been completely transparent. They have been completely transparent with the public, especially this police department. They already been through so much scrutiny. So I don't understand.
Here, what we are seeing is business as usual. And you know this, Amelia. You know this, Jacob.
This theatrical
I don't know how
stuff.
you guys slept that night.
This is all theatrical.
I couldn't sleep that night. Tears from a mother's perspective, thinking about what happened. I saw the picture of Amir. He looks like a boy. My son is 17 years old. He has slept on his friends' couches for sleepovers. So we cannot sit here and whitewash this and pretend that it's okay.
All right, she lost me at the whitewashing. Like, I can sympathize with the fact of her being a mother and she's got a son. But maybe you should teach your son the same message that I would teach my children. This is why it's important to know who you have surrounding you. This is why it's important to make the right decisions in your life. Don't get involved with people that are doing negative things, people that are involved in criminality. Don't do it yourself, and don't be involved in that circle of people because it can put you in a position to where you have poor outcomes. But instead, we got leadership that says everything is white supremacy, everything is whitewashed, not allowing the police to do their job to conclude on the investigation. So, which is why I'm so interested in knowing how this all plays out, the outcome. Completely evading the fact that there's criminality going on, terrorizing communities. But instead, we have leadership that says, if you rob a Macy's or a Gucci, that's reparations. You remember her?
Care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that that person eats. That makes sure that that person has clothes. That's reparations. That is reparations. Anything they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance. They're going to get their money back. My people aren't getting anything.
That is one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard. But the reason why I played this throwback of poor leadership is because this is what I'm saying in the beginning. We have poor leadership. We don't have leadership that's telling the truth. We got Eeyores of color. That's right, I said it. Shout out to my homeboy Jericho Green. We had, you know how they call themselves people of color? You remember Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh? He was depressed, pessimistic, negative. We have Eeyores of color as leaders that don't tell the truth. Instead, they keep selling victimhood in this country, which is why I am baffled and don't understand how that peaceful protest after the day that the parents talked for Amir Locke led to this. And what's an oxymoron and a double standard to me is we have parents that will show up at a school board meeting to express themselves of the things that's going on in the public schools that they don't want their kids subjected to, and they'll end up on an FBI list. They're considered terrorists. But they'll let this type of leadership that is like a cancer spread like wildfire, spread anger, hatred, and resentment and anti-white rhetoric. They'll let that go on, and you don't never hear any type of investigation. They're not considered terrorists, domestic terrorists, whatsoever. Check it out. Look at this crap.
Our last speaker today is going to be...
this guy's voice completely annoys the hell out of me.
A young person from our community. He's prepared some words for you, so give it up for him.
Now, I want to point something out real quick. Notice he said this is our last speaker. If you look at the video, the lights, it's starting to get dark. They had a peaceful protest all day, but here comes where the rhetoric comes. And you know, they always say, oh, our marches were 99% peaceful, but they don't want to talk about the hatred leadership, the spewed stuff that they say to the public. Nobody wants to put them on FBI lists and consider them domestic terrorists for the words that come out their mouth. So check this craziness out.
Thank you. Amir Locke was murdered February 2nd, 2022. Lynched under his blanket. Killed in less than 9 seconds by an MPD death squad. Murderer! Since the lynching of George Floyd, Dalal Eid, Dante Wright, Winston Smith, and now Amir Locke, nothing has changed. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think Derek Chauvin is inside a jail cell right now?
Oh my God.
The reason why is because we burned down that fucking precinct.
Why isn't he considered a domestic terrorist? He's out there inciting anger and hatred. He's inciting to burn down a police precinct, man. I mean, you can't make this shit up.
No amount of peaceful
it gets better.
Protests will get us to justice in this cruel, grotesque, settler, colonial, white supremacist society. No amount of reform is enough. Only complete and total abolition. You'll hear from folks who speak of peaceful marches, folks who are part of liberal nonprofits.
Talk to us, brother. Take your time.
Folks who are part of liberal nonprofits who call themselves celebrity activists, even some of them who work with the city themselves.
That's right.
Some of these folks will try to control your anger.
Yeah.
But I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you. Feel your anger fully. Be mad. Be mad. Because your anger is justified. Build barricades, burn precincts, reappropriate what they've stolen for you for thousands of generations. Most of all, show love to one another, radical love. And show absolute hate to those who oppress us.
Listen to him.
Power to the looters, power to the rioters. Say his name!
That's enough. You guys get my point. That is called poor leadership. It is. It's poor leadership. A lack of knowledge, people will perish, man. And I'm going to close it with this, because this old ambulance chasing Benjamin Crump. In his caption, he says, as Breonna Taylor showed us, no-knock warrants have deadly consequences for innocent law-abiding black people. There he goes race baiting again. Let me drop this last fact, and then I'm going to close this out. Breonna Taylor's situation was a knock. They knocked on the door. They knocked on the door, man. And these people were involved in criminality. Do you guys see the reoccurring theme here? I'll digress. With that being said, man, I ain't going to speak much more on this. I don't want the video to be too long. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and share. Make sure you hit the subscription button. And, man, let's grow the page. Get the message out there. My voice is needed. I'm going to continue to challenge these fools. They ain't doing nothing but leading black people down a dark alley and to more disparities that are inflicted upon themselves. We need to get rid of these Eeyore of color people in leadership selling wolf tickets and race baiting and victimhood in this country, and bring back the spirit of excellence in this country when it comes to black and brown people. So I love y'all. Thank you. Your boy that's going to always keep telling the truth. Y'all know what it is. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, oi.
but the droplet